Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about living in the moment, living in the now, and just taking time to reflect on a week that has gone by. Today's the 10th of the 10th, 2025, and yeah, I think we sort of get caught up in our lives a little bit here in the West, and it's good to just sort of take a step back and enjoy life a little bit more, which is good. It sort of occurs to me that with everything happening in the world, whether that be, pending war or stock markets going crazy or Bitcoin, that a lot of people, they forget that, essentially a lot of consumer sentiment can be tied up in the banks and in home loans. And, if house prices get too far ahead of the everyday man or the everyday worker, it's sort of going to be harder in the long term to sort of be driven to keep working and to fund the system. And essentially, that's what we're getting to at the moment, is people are busting their backsides, working even longer hours and potentially even more than one job to even have a crack at being on the property ladder. And I'm not talking about a 3x2 or 4x2 house. A lot of people are just happy to potentially just have like an apartment. Yes, that involves having strata, but essentially it's like, well, once you're on there, your life is supposedly supposed to get easier, not harder. But in saying that, with interest rates, people are sort of struggling with the loans they've already got, even before they get a loan out or another loan out, or upgrade their current house to a more expensive house and have even more debt. Again, it's the product that life is sold to us, that in order to get ahead, the banks give out the home loan and the debt, and debt and mortgage in Latin means death grip, or death pledge, I should say. And people don't actually understand the word mortgage, and that's what it means. And slowly, as life goes on, you might get a loan for a car, or you might get a loan for business, but a lot of people have loans for their HECS debt, and people are finding out that itself is a lie. That the tertiary education system beyond high school is a scam, because a lot of the people that are out there making businesses right now didn't necessarily go to university. You don't need necessarily that formal education beyond high school to make it. Essentially, more risk-averse people tend to go against the grain and not go to uni. And time after time after time, people are, I guess, have followed the status quo, the sheep mentality, no different to COVID. Joe Blow got jabbed, I better do it for my grandma. It's like, well, yeah, but people are slowly realizing that nanotech's in COVID vaccines, and that your arteries are becoming clogged up with these bloody things, these freaking blood clots, and essentially it's all just going to be turned into shit. So there's things like that where people are starting to wake up and basically take a backward step and reassess things and go, well, do I really need that? Why do I need that? And why am I just falling into the weight of expectation or societal norms just because I want to be fitting in? Well, be fitting in with people that you don't even want to be fitted into. Like, I couldn't give a damn what other people are doing, and literally, people care too much about other people's opinions that they really shouldn't care about. I'm not saying you've got to be empathetic. To live in this world, you've got to be more empathetic, 100%. I'm not saying not to be empathetic. I'm just saying don't put all your weight, or don't put the weight of expectation on the shoulders of other people's opinions, because all you're doing is taking away your power and giving it to someone else. And essentially, you're doing a massive disservice to yourself. And so I'm on here right now on a glorious day, to tell you and give you this message to implement it. I myself am not a finished person. I myself are still making mistakes, but if I can impart some wisdom on you to then think about and reassess in your own life, as I have in mine, then we can both grow together, and the world will be a better place, and you'll be more happier, and you won't be paying for it in the long run by making unconscious decisions. Be conscious in your decisions. Evaluate your decisions. Research endlessly, and research on things that you're not really sure about, because the whole system is based upon lies and based upon people not doing their own research and uncovering the truth. Because distraction is key. Netflix is key. Disney Plus is key. Alcohol, drugs is key to making people distracted. Phones are key. Apple's the key. Samsung's the key. They don't want you to know too much. And the social media ban for under 16s is to limit people's exposure to the truth. Because there are people like myself on here on YouTube blowing the lid off things, and we're not scared to say the truth. I'll see you in the next one.